recently published a phenomenal report based on information that was only published in Hebrew, I think, still to this day, about more on the Hannibal Directive ordered by Israeli commanders to have their troops fire on Israeli civilians on October 7th. And we've prepared a presentation here about that report and these findings, and so let's get into it.
Okay, thank you very much, Nora. Do you remember this video from the aftermath of the 7th of October assault? Hundreds of destroyed cars were rounded up by the Israeli military and later piled up in a car lot in Netivot, an Israeli settlement near. Well, it showed that much of this destruction was caused not by Palestinians, but by Israel. If you're one of viewers or listeners, this won't come as a surprise. But now, a major new investigative piece by two Israeli journalists shows that official Israeli estimates have privately concluded that at least 70 of these vehicles were blown up by Israel. That is to say, by helicopter gunships, drones, or tanks. Many of these vehicles, driven by Palestinian fighters on their way back to Gaza, contained Israelis that they had taken captive. This new piece that you can see here was published in 7 Days, which is the weekend supplement of the mainstream Israeli newspaper Yediot Ahronot. And this piece confirms what we've been saying all along, which is that Israel reactivated the Hannibal Directive on the 7th of October. Journalists Ronan Bergman and Yoav Zitun wrote that it is not clear at this stage how many of the captives were killed due to the operation of this order. That is an order to the Air Force that they should prevent return to Gaza at all costs. And a quote from the article: "At least in some of the cases, everyone in the vehicle was killed," the journalist explained. Now that, of course, would have included many Israeli captives. Now the paper's online version, Ynet, has not translated the piece into English. So we asked our long-time professional Hebrew translator and Israel expert, Dina Shunra, to translate it for us. All quotes of the article that I'm reading now are taken from that translation, and you can read it in its entirety at the end of this report that I've written at the electronicintifada.net. So we'll put a link to it in the description for this episode. Now, Bergman and Zitun's investigation found that at midday on the 7th of October, Israel's Supreme Military Headquarters ordered all units to prevent the capture of Israeli citizens, quote, at any cost, unquote, including by firing on them. Quote, at midday of October 7th, the IDF instructed all its fighting units to perform the Hannibal Directive in practice, although it did so without stating that name explicitly.